We have a panel coming up. What are the invisible realities of female founders when so much of the market and ecosystem is designed for men by men? Is the label female founders necessary, or is it a hindrance? And that is what our next panel is going to discuss. Our next panel is our partner for this evening, or one of our partners at Startup Nights. That is AXA. They are based here in Winterthur, just down the road, actually. And they're going to be talking about the barriers and the benefits around this. So listen in for some invaluable insights and some reflections, and help us see those blind spots. I will hand over to the stage for our moderator, who I think is the epitome of dare to innovate. When I asked her, she said alongside her full-time managerial role, she has held a mini job as a fitness coach. She taught herself Latin and was proficient by the age of 25. She's into bat protection. Yeah, bat, which I think is a wonderful icebreaker. So if you see her later, ask her about bats. And also, she started her own business with the same time constraints of being a single mum. I love her motto: don't wait, fail fast, learn, refine, and try again. Please give a very warm welcome to our moderator, Simone Keller, and her guests.
Karen all the way. Jackie, perfect. Ja, kann ich gern machen. So. Very good. Well then, let's talk about founding a business. Well, to be precise, about founding a business as a woman. Or wait, I even have to mention that? Together we're going to take a dive into the opinion and experience of 5 founders and talk about, is the label female founder helpful in getting established with your business? Does it help getting equal chances and getting and staying successful as a female entrepreneur? Is it the exact opposite? Or does it even matter at all? We'll be talking about risks and chances, and might even get 1 or 2 tips for you. As you might have already or will have some questions burning under your nails, our 5 founders are going to be available at the AXA booth right after this discussion and answer those for you. But first things first, let me introduce to you the 5 power entrepreneurs that are going to be the center and soul of our discussion tonight. All the way to my right, we have Karen Wendt. She's the founder and CEO of Ecos Impact and also the president of the Swiss FinTech Ladies. Followed by Jackie Helfenberger, the visionary founder of 3 companies that support educational, travel, and investment projects in Rwanda. In the center, we have Sandra Wood, the founder of Sandra Wood Language Coaching, an online German language coaching business. Next, we have Murielle Schreck, CEO and co-founder of Kusella. She invented Kusella's core material during her PhD at ETH Zurich. And last but not least, Sandra Roy, the founder of Valorisance, as well as a mentor and executive coach. My dear founders, with that, it's your turn now. To jump right in, I've prepared a statement for you and would like you to raise either your red or green flag for it. Listen up. Being called not just a founder, but a female founder absolutely helps women getting established and supports their chances for success and equality. Very nice. So Murielle, you've raised the red flag. Please open the discussion and tell us why you think this is not true.
I call myself a founder, although I'm proud to be a female founder. But still I have to work as a founder to achieve what I want to achieve. And the label female founder can help, but it can also give you a stamp that some people then think, oh, maybe she needs a bit more help than others. And I don't want that. I want to achieve it because I'm a founder and not a female founder, although I encourage the support programs, also take part myself. But in the end, I want to be recognized as a founder.
Very nice. Any other voices to that, or any contra voices to it from the green side?
So, can I?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. So, I was pondering whether I take the red or the green flag, because what you're saying, that's true from an individual perspective. So, for instance, I went to a boys' school. So we were 5 girls in the class, and all the rest were men. And afterwards, I chose a very male environment when I went into investment banking. So from a personal perspective, for me, it's great to work with men. I love it. And I don't feel discriminated in any way. But I accept that I had a certain way of socialization in that environment, in school already. And I believe that there are many women who need role models like you. And this is why we founded Swiss FinTech Ladies, because not everyone has had that kind of socialization, and women need other women as role models. And this is why I raised the green flag. So what's true on the individual level, for me and for you, might not be true on the societal level for everyone.
Very nice, thank you. Any other voices to that, pro or con?
I like to bring a word in towards to be authentic, to be a woman, to be authentic, not to become a Teflon woman. I like this saying because I think in order to have success, you need to be yourself, you need to be passionate, authentic, and it's nice to be taken as an entrepreneur, not as a female founder only. So I'm juggling between the two worlds. Even in Rwanda, there are so many women entrepreneurs. It's very normal there to be a woman entrepreneur.
Very nice.
Yes. Actually, I'm not really fan of labels, definitely not. Unless it depends what you're going to do with the labels. So it's not about just putting a tag on it, but it has to have a whole background and story around it, how it can really support. So should you call it as a female entrepreneur or two-person entrepreneur, whatever, it has to have a context and a real story behind, definitely. So it's, well, not a matter if you're women or not. I mean, it's all what you need as a support to be successful, and that you hear your voice and you have an opportunity to follow your path.
Absolutely. And does the label female founder has that in your terms? Or do you have any personal experience that you can share where you experienced that?
Actually, I worked for 27 years in international companies before being a founder. And even there, being a female was giving you more chances somehow to be in the management team or whatever, because there were some quota to fill in. So if you are pushed there just because to fill in a quota, for me it's not a good reason or good support, you see? So it's more, what I would like more is encourage diversity in the good sense, in what you bring, what you innovate, and all your capabilities behind. Should you be a woman, a female or not?
Has this been similar to others of you, or have you experienced the label as a barrier?
I think, so coming back to what you said, yeah, in Rwanda it's very normal to be a female entrepreneur. I mean, that's my experience as well from investment banking, from development finance. When you go to other regions of the world, there are a lot of female entrepreneurs. And even the finance world wants to finance them. If you look into microfinance, you have, well, who gets the money? It's the ladies, it's not the men. Because, well, women are known for being very reliable and for paying back, having a view and a focus not only on themselves but on their families. And these are the reasons why the most financiers and asset managers that are active in microfinance, they love to finance women. So I think it's more, so we cannot say the problem is universal. And I think we as well have to think here in Europe and the US, what are the reasons where we are responsible for, so that the world is as it is. Because my motto is really, the best way to predict the future is to create it, and we need more of these creative women doing it. And so that's the motto here. We should, dare to innovate. And I think this is where we can really get better as women. I'm not talking about us here, but in general. This is what is a little bit maybe missing or required.
Very nice. Sandra, what do you think of it? Have you experienced the label kind of like in your career and your work as a founder as a barrier or as a benefit?
Yes, I have to say I don't like the way it makes me feel. So if we put female founders or female entrepreneurs into a drawer and we label that female entrepreneurs, it kind of reinforces the bias. So I think there absolutely is a bias against women founders and entrepreneurs, but it shouldn't be signaled by calling it out. And when I personally hear that, I feel that I'm kind of inferior to a male founder, whatever that may be. And I'm kind of looked at from a gender perspective as opposed to my achievements. So that's why I don't find it is particularly helpful. And it was interesting what you said about Rwanda. I sometimes also feel that in other parts of the world, it's a lot more normal to have that as opposed to Europe, which may come as a surprise, I guess.
Absolutely. Well, in general, do you think it's for a female entrepreneur a different mindset if you call yourself a female entrepreneur or just entrepreneur?
I think I would like to bring in, from my experience, we need to stick together. We need to build a network. We need to join women entrepreneurs, networks, Lions Club. We need to go into also these male-dominated business networks to help each other and to achieve. And you just brought the Rwanda example up. They have a 60% minimum quota of women in the government. And I think sometimes the pendulum needs to go to the one side in order to balance in.
What do you think about the network, Sandra? The mindset, sorry.
Mindset-wise, for me, I don't need to say I'm a woman, I'm a female. You see it, okay? So I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a founder, and that's it. For me, it doesn't give me an identity of saying I'm a female founder, you see. So it's just a position, it's just what I'm doing, I'm a founder.
Very nice.
So I would say in the financial industry, there's no one who would book me just because I'm a woman. Yeah. So the female is, in this regard, really irrelevant as an entrepreneur. But it is extremely relevant when we think about how can we increase the participation of women in fintech, for instance, 10%, or in crypto, 1%, or even in finance, 30%. So how can we increase the participation of women in these male industries? And these industries are not male because we are excluded. They are very often male because women do not feel safe in these environments. And I think it's very important that we do have, as you said, networks. So this is why we call ourselves as well at Swiss FinTech Ladies, ecosystem architects, to create that ecosystem and bring together the female organizations in order to thrive together. I think that's an important aspect, especially when we talk about male-dominated areas. And let's face it, no one will book any woman just because she's a woman. At least not in finance. I'm sure.
My wish for this mindset in our society is that we don't have it at some point anymore, that we don't have to think about male or female and everyone else that is also not male or female. I mean, that's just, we don't need these labels anymore at all. We are not yet there, so we need to work towards there, but that's like my wish for our society, that at some point, how far or how long it will take, that whether I will have a girl or a boy, that they don't think about it. As when we were children, we didn't care about skin color or boy or girl. We just played with each other. And that just comes with becoming an adult. And if we can teach our children already that it doesn't really matter whether you're an entrepreneur, that is male or female or anything else, when we can do that, that's exactly what I hope we can achieve. Right? For us, it's kind of too late, but we can help for the next generation to hopefully achieve that at some point.
I think that's a very, very important point, and you've mentioned network, you mentioned community before. What's still to be done to get to that point? What do you think?
You have to start way earlier than our ages. That for sure, yeah.
I think it was really helpful to go to a boys' school, I must say. But no, to be serious, I see that as a transition phase that we need, well, ecosystems of female entrepreneurs or female investors. So of course the end goal should be that we don't need Swiss fintech ladies. Yeah, definitely. But there is a transition phase and we need a theory of change for that time until we are there. And of course we have to craft not only how it should look like in the end, but also what are the paths of transformation and how do we get there. And I think for that path of transformation, we really do need an ecosystem that supports each other, that learns from each other. Yeah, because we women very often are, we are very supportive. Oh, your child is sick, I can take care of him, her, but we don't necessarily do that in business yet.
True.
I think there's definitely something about the mindset that can help us along this journey.
Yeah.
So you also mentioned about the upbringing, and women need to be bolder and they need to be more visible. So they need to get out there, and that change has to come from within. So we cannot ask other people to help us, but we need to do it through networking and also maybe realize in what areas we need support. So often people say to me, I could never do what you've done. And then what transpires in the conversation is that it is very much, for example, about financial literacy, where women maybe don't feel that confident. So I think we can do something there about workshops from or by people who've been on that journey and have had the experience. So the role models are very important.
Exactly, and so to have female investors as well, because financial literacy, I mean, is like you're reading a cooking book, but you need to start cooking. So that means you need to start investing, otherwise any financial literacy training is in vain. So, and this is an area where we really have to focus, because investors, they choose politicians, like we see that in the US very, very clearly, and if you're not at the investors' table, no regulation will help you, finally. That's my point of view.
I think to throw in, you need to create a bubble. And from my experience, I had to let go, say goodbye to some friends who was too negative, too not empowering me on my journey. When you decide to become independent, you have to create your bubble, your network, your women entrepreneurs, your mentors. And I think that's very important. And even in Rwanda, I see there are so many young people, they need mentors we need to stick together and help each other and not to see each other as competitors. And I think this mindset I would push into the world and live it.
I fully agree.
Definitely, I mean, to build on what you just mentioned, as long as we see that there's a man way to do things, a women way to do things, we are building the split. I mean, for me, it's just, there are different ways of doing entrepreneurship or managing things. And female, we come with different strengths, with different talents, okay? And you have men that can build, we can build together, definitely. And that's where meeting together, we can really build something better and go further and build the next generation. To drop down all these frontiers and these biases and these cliches.
As long as we still think a bit male, female, and everyone else, let's not forget about the man. Because although we have to build up ourselves, there are so many things that are going wrong for the men that want to support the women in moving forward. And so we need to find balances for both genders, for all genders, that it just works. That not the woman has to stay at home because the man is not allowed to reduce from 100% to 80% or something like that. So this is something that for me is extremely important, that we don't forget about the other gender, because there are a lot of things that are going wrong there as well, and together on all sides we can make that change, but we need to work together, as you said.
And we can clearly see that when we compare the UK model with the Swedish model. So in the UK, we have the 30% project where the women have been asking, supporting men. So taking the men as ambassadors for their goal to get to 30%. So it was a co-creation approach. And in Sweden, we have, the compliance rules. Leading to this, what they call now golden skirts, the same women in all the boards. So no proliferation or scaling effect. And then everyone can judge what you prefer. Do you want to work with the men who support that, who support the goal of co-creation, or do you want to go down the compliance road?
You've mentioned politics before. If you go a bit back to the label, where do you see the role or influence of media in the whole topic? Is there an influence at all? To push it forward, to support it, that it stays, the label, or that we get rid of it?
I think it's both. It can be an advantage, and sometimes clearly it is a disadvantage. So it's not an either or. It really depends on the environments and how you co-create them. So I would say in the financial industry, in the fintech industry, in crypto, being a woman is a real advantage because they are looking for competent women. And there might be other areas, so deep tech and so as well, of course. But there might be other areas where, this is a disadvantage.
I think that it's talked about it, that there are like magazines or like panel discussions about the topic. The awareness, it's important, as you said, Jackie, the pendulum needs to first a bit over to the one direction to find its balance. So it's good that we talk about it, but we have to be aware that in media and social media that at some point, or some people should also start just using a general term. Again, a balance.
Absolutely. Well, we're already slowly steering towards the end of our discussion. In a few short sentences, for any founders, female founders out there, do you have any pieces of advice in terms of the label or else that you want to give out to them?
Join entrepreneurs, networks, female or diverse, early on. start pitching early on and get better at it, and get at least, I would say, an advisory board who can make introductions for you that are important. Introductions to clients, introductions to investors, introductions maybe also to banks or whatever, to lawyers, and so on. Yeah. So create your own ecosystem.
Yeah, be bold and go out there, and you won't feel like working on your business every single day. So sometimes you wake up in the morning and you think this is really tough, and you think about throwing the towel in, but discipline beats motivation. So even when you don't feel like it, do a little bit every day, as that is what ultimately drives progress. And maybe get a mentor, somebody to help you along the way. So definitely you don't need to be in this alone, but it is a fantastic journey to embark on. So if you want to do it, do it.
Surround yourself with the right people. Don't do it alone.
Yeah, very
It's
important.
great when you have successes to celebrate with a team. It's also great when it's not going so well, to mourn as a team. So team meaning also not only your individual team members, but like advisory board, investors, friends that you meet at the panel discussion, like-minded people. Do it. Don't think too much about it, because then you won't do it. And find the right people to do it with.
And with the support, that's one thing. And you will certainly see the models of male models, because I believe today there are less women models than men models. So whatever you see and you would do differently doesn't mean that you have to drop it. So with the support around you, believe in your vision, believe in your dreams, and build a model. It's not because there's not such a model existing for you that you need to drop it. Go forward, believe in it, invest in you, and definitely search for the good support, the positive support. And don't listen to all these headwinds that is stopping you, blocking you, makes you think more or do differently. Go for it. And it's never too late. Never too late. I changed completely path at 50 years old. So believe in it. Life is long and it's never too late. There we go.
And when you make nothing, you make no mistakes. Make mistakes, make your experience, follow your heart, follow your passion, follow your dream, maybe choose your business also from the heart, not maybe only from the finance. When you fall down, stand up, put the crown on again. And to end with a nice proverb from Rwanda, where I am often at our school, it's when people throw only stones at trees with fruit. So you will maybe have people who envy you, who throw stones at your fruit, but actually you can take it as a compliment. It means you have succeeded. So
Thank you.
just go forward. And,
Perfect. What a perfect last sentence. And with that, we're at the end of our discussion already, at least for now, as this is not a discussion that is already ended talking about. And we've seen various aspects of the label, and our entrepreneurs have shared their experience and opinion about it. I think we've heard hints of what they think, if the label is worth to be kept or not. But in the end, I follow your tips and advice. It's up to you to test and find out to see if it fits your individual situation, helps you getting established, getting equal chances in staying successful, all in line with the motto of this year's Startup Night, Dare to Innovate. As said before, not just with your business, but also with labels such as female entrepreneur. And with that, I extend my thanks to you and to all of you as well. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.